People, Hyundai is one of the most loved and trusted car brands in India. From Santro-like hatchbacks to Creta-like SUVs, its cars are highly popular among Indian car buyers for their design, reliability and performance. As a result, it maintained the number 2 spot in India's overall market share from 2009 to 2025. However, it's not all sunshine and roses. Although it managed to hold on to its number 2 ranking at the end of the financial year 2025, it may struggle to retain that position this year. Why? If you see this graph, in the first 6 months of 2025, Hyundai finished behind Mahindra 5 times. On top of that, its revenue has slipped by 420 crores compared to last financial year. And it's not because they underestimate Indian consumers. In fact, it was always among the first to introduce new features and innovations, whether it was ventilated seats or SUV body design. They have worked hard to regain lost ground, but things haven't quite gone according to plan. So the question is, why exactly is Hyundai struggling today? If you don't know, Hyundai is a South Korean car manufacturer and its global headquarters is in Seoul, and it can be blamed for India unit's struggle. How? Long ago, Hyundai had the Santro, which remained one of its top selling models for many years and helped it firmly grasp the number 2 spot in the Indian market. And now it has the Creta, which helps in holding the second spot. But the biggest fear of Hyundai is that Creta is slowly dying. In 2018-19, Creta had a market share of 68% of the mid SUV segment. But now it has plummeted to 30% in 2023-24. Its market share is being eaten by Maruti Suzuki's Grand Vitara, Toyota's Hyryder, Skoda's Kusak and Volkswagen's Taycan. And with the recent launch of Victorious, it's only remains to be seen how it impacts the sale of Creta. But aside from this, none of the company's vehicles, including a short-lived relaunch of the Santro, have been able to make much headway in the Indian market today. Upcoming cars like Tata Sierra, Renault Duster and a new Nissan SUV are also set to rival Creta. If you see this chart, you will see that except the Creta and Exter, the rest of the models currently in Hyundai's fleet have shown negative sales growth. Besides this, Hyundai's contribution from new models is just 2%, placing it far behind other major players in India. Mahindra, on the other hand, records the highest with 28% during the first 5 months of 2025. So the global division of Hyundai is being faulted for not coming up with a product tailored to India, one that can help Hyundai regain its market share and recreate the success of Creta. Another reason is that Indian rivals like Mahindra and Tata Motors have finally brought their game to the competition. In March 2020, just as the COVID-19 pandemic was about to erupt, Hyundai was comfortably in the second position in retail sales of passenger vehicles with 545,000 units sold. Tata Motors and Mahindra were nowhere close to it with only 231,000 units and 254,000 units sold respectively. The distance between the second and third position was quite significant. But 3 years later, that yawning gap would become wafer thin. Mahindra, which only has SUVs in its passenger fleet, reported sales of over 500,000 vehicles in 2024-25. That helped the company to close the gap with Hyundai from around 300,000 to less than 50,000 in just 4 years. Hyundai was selling more than before, but so were Mahindra and Tata. And in 2025, they would start outselling the Korean company. But Hyundai had a well-diversified product range with hatchbacks, Grand i10, Santro and Elite i20, and SUVs like Venue, Creta and a little bit of Kona and Tucson. So what went wrong? Well, it's because of the changing preference of Indian buyers who started preferring SUVs more and smaller cars less. Now, because of this, its vehicles were not able to match the appeal of its competitors. In FY 2019, the share of SUVs in the overall car market in India was just 23%. Now, it accounts for nearly half of the overall market. While the share of SUVs has more than doubled, for Hyundai, its share in the SUV space grew only 2%, from 16.3% to 18.8%. All thanks to the Creta, which single-handedly done the heavy lifting for Hyundai with 26% of its overall sales. Now, this is not an impressive number for India's second biggest manufacturer, and this affected Hyundai. Although the company started rolling out new SUVs models such as Exter, Alcazar and Ioniq 5, they failed to find enough takers. The sales of Venue is stagnant in the sub-compact SUV segment, all thanks to cars like Tata Punch and Mahindra 3XO. Alcazar failed in the large SUV space against XUV700 and Harrier. And now Creta shares are down in the mid SUV segment with competition rising at an alarming rate. So Hyundai is in a terrible state, because Tata Motors and Mahindra have gained share at the expense of Maruti and Hyundai. So now what? Will Hyundai just stay idle and let Tata and Mahindra take away its share of the market? Definitely not. Hyundai plans to launch 26 models by the financial year 2030 with 20 internal combustion engines and 6 electric vehicles. Its strategy now leans on expanding the SUV lineup, starting with a Santa Fe relaunch and a possible Palisade entry in the big SUV segment. The company isn't relying solely on new launches to regain market share. It is also rolling out special initiatives in rural areas such as expanding financing tie-ups with banks, supporting dealers with inventory and incentives, improving customer conversions, and exploring opportunities for network growth. The company is also ramping up capacity. It acquired General Motors' Telgaon plant in Maharashtra last year and plans to start production there this year. So now it will complement its two integrated facilities near Chennai. And lastly, Hyundai is looking to introduce its luxury brand Genesis to tap the premiumization wave. But the competition isn't sitting idle. Mahindra has planned 12 car launches, 7 ICE SUVs and 5 EVs. It is also looking to open a new greenfield plant by 2027-28. Now what remains to be seen is how Hyundai can hold its ground against the rising challenge from Tata and Mahindra. What's your view on this? Tell me in the comments. That's all from today's video. I hope you have liked it. If yes, then do subscribe to my channel for more such insightful case studies. I'll see you in the next video.